I am super excited with our man, Sean from Medidenta. Sean, what's up, man?
Hey, everybody.
Man, so, guys, I know I said that we were going to be on about 30 minutes ago, but we got a little sidetracked because we were talking about basketball. Now, we can, Sean and I will give our picks for the NBA finals later, but really we were talking about how, I don't know, man, the players nowadays are not built the same way as the players we grew up watching. And honestly, a lot of times I hear people say that, man, the hand paces back in the day seemed like they were so much better, or all the equipment is so much better, right? Well, here's the thing. Sean is a throwback, and he also is here to talk about a throwback equipment, hand pieces, whatnot with Medidenta. So Before we go any further, Sean, and before you disclose who your favorite team is, all that good stuff, before you do any of those things, what is Medidenta for those who are new to the group? And what do you guys how do you guys help dental practices?
So Medidenta has evolved. It's been around for 78 years, selling direct since day one. Very, very little action on the dealer side. Some obscure endo files that they still take. But by and large, the company has always been a direct to dental company. Kind of focusing on this direct connection, cutting the middleman out, saving money. The interesting thing that I find with Medidenta today is we've evolved even further. So forever it was a handpiece and endo company. But just a year ago, we merged and brought in a complete line. You're familiar with the ProviMagic line of hygiene products, top-rated CR Choice, Profi Angles. Of the 13 products that ProviMagic carries as far as distinguishing products, 11 of them are all CR rated. The primary products are CR Choice. So the company was built, 10 years ago, basically, only carrying premium hygiene products, from the handpieces to the Profi Angles to the air and water tips. All of these things are CR rated. Now with the cordless hygiene. Anyway, so Medidenta merged with ProviMagic about a year ago. We also expanded our endo department by an acquisition from Ultradent in the Genius line of rotary files, reciprocating and rotary files. We also brought on Dr. Carlos Ramos as a part of that acquisition, and he's been full-time with us in-house doing all of our R&D. We, in December, fast forward a little bit, so we have a full endo line, equipment, cordless handpiece with Apex locator built in, piezos, file systems like everybody else in the industry. But again, going back to that direct pricing. So we've always kept this reasonable price point margin, if you will, with all of our products across the board. The nice thing is, because we carry so many different things, we're not just a handpiece company that's trying to make a mint on a single handpiece. We don't have to make a 60% margin on you, because the odds are I'm going to get you to buy my hygiene stuff. The odds are I'm going to get you to buy my endo stuff. Most GPs are doing endo, and if COVID reenacts, shows its face again, I hope you're doing endo, or at least learning how to do endo again, because those that didn't and only do hygiene realize what COVID had done to their practice and to their person. Financially, nobody can afford that. I mean, I don't know how most of you hung in there. I'm glad you did, but to learn a skill in endo is critical, I think, at this point. It makes you relatively bulletproof, or COVID proof. But the combination of different things that Medidenta has put together has made us a powerhouse now, more than ever. Not that we weren't before, but we're so much better now. We brought on education. In December, we got our AGD PACE certification. So now we're offering free CE courses. We're building a team of KOLs, key opinion leaders, in the industry, some of which are old friends, some of which are new friends, trying to tackle different categories, because categorically Medidenta covers hygiene, handpiece, surgical,
restorative. I mean, pretty much everything.
Restorative, preventative. I mean, we've got all the different categories covered. Now we're doing education, and I'm asking KOLs, I'm saying, hey, let's pick your topic. Let's do something in your wheelhouse. It doesn't have to matter with my products, because the odds are I probably have something for that topic anyway. But don't feature. I don't want to say, oh, the freestyle cordless handpiece is the only way you should do hygiene. Like that to me is insulting to the docs. I want them to learn something and grow from there. And then, I'm building a community of trust with offices, with hygienists, with doctors, with assistants, so on and so forth. We're offering all kinds of different things. So that is who kind of Medidenta is today. And again, the deals speak for themselves in most cases. Most of you have already been touched by a Medidenta deal.
I mean, look, we have our own landing page, guys, with Medidenta. Okay, that's how popular Medidenta is in our group. But here's the thing, a lot of times people are thinking like, well, these deals, like, are these deals for me? Well, if you're a startup, you definitely need these deals because you don't have anything, right? If you are a growing practice, you need more good hand pieces. You need more hygiene hand pieces. Remember when we went through COVID and we had Sean on here because people were like, well, I need to have some extra hand pieces. I need to have some extra Profi hand pieces, right? And it is expensive out there. But the thing is, with the sweet bulk deals that Profi Magic has, that's something that we could step up and help, right? And then, of course, with endo, and then, of course, surgical hand pieces. So whether you're a new practice, whether you're a growing practice, or you're maybe a mature practice, you're going to have, there's a product in Medidenta's like whole kind of like catalog of supplies and equipment that we can all do. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and share the screen right now. So let me go ahead and get this ready here. And again, I told you guys, we actually have people asking, like, what's the Nifty deal? I was like, dude, there's so many freaking deals with Medidenta. Like, I can't tell you, man. And like, I just dump it on Sean. I was like, Sean, tell him the deal. And Sean's like,
you know what it was? Honestly, I remember my wife was like, you're crazy. It was like Sunday at 10 p.m. and my phone was beside the bed and I heard it ding. It's that special Facebook Nifty ding. I go to grab the phone and it's a doc asking me for a Nifty deal on a handpiece or what. I don't even remember specifically what it was, but I sat there and had to find it on our website because I had some buried in there, or there was an offer code, whatever it was. I had to figure this out. It was Sunday at like 10:30 at night. We did a deal. She actually gave me her credit card over Facebook Messenger. And I thought, you know what? The times have changed. The buying patterns have changed. The trade shows suck. Let's call it po. The attendance is awful. No one wants to compromise their office anymore. So e-commerce is the way to go. So I thought, why not create basically a replica of my existing website with 2,406 SKUs. And let's just discount everything for Nifty. That way, when she calls me on Sunday night at 10 p.m., I can just simply say, go to nifty.medidenta.com. And you're going to see everything there. You can search through filters, and every orifice and page on that site has been adapted for a Nifty deal. Special for Nifty, by the way, nobody else.
So speaking of which, let's go through some of these deals. So again, there's so many. Look, guys, it's nifty.medidenta.com. We'll put it in the comments section. But this is let me just scroll down. There's like about 21 pages of freaking deals in here, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 21. You're looking right there, okay? And of course, they've been, like he said, been around for 80 years. And this is the Nifty pricing.
The little red circle. Sale.
There you go.
If you go to Medidenta.com, you're not going to see that on 90% of the items that are available here at nifty.medidenta.com. So whether you're in the need for a 3-piece kit or not, if you are, you're going to save 40% here. I do put the primary deals that are the hottest deals that I want to present on the top 4. So you're always going to see what's latest and greatest. If you're just poking around trying to see what's the latest and greatest, you're going to see those top 4 deals. Like that first deal.
This is a sweet deal here. It's like you got your handpiece. Yeah. You got your handpiece. You got a Profi handpiece. You got some Profi angles too.
So that's basically a buy 3, get 2 free. I don't know if you remember, Glenn, but a couple years ago we did this deal, and it absolutely erupted. It was one of our first deals with Nifty, and I was absolutely blown away at how many people wanted a good deal on a handpiece. So I kind of brought this back because now we've expanded into different arenas. I added some additional things to it. So This particular deal is our Turbo Torque 2200. Glenn, you have the Cabo style.
Yeah.
This particular handpiece is one of our high-end handpieces. It comes in a Cabo Connect, quick disconnect, or an NSK quick disconnect. Now, again, these are air, pneumatic, not electric. Some people buy the NSK assuming they're electric, but they're not. These are air. If you have an NSK connection or a Cabo connection, Cabo, tomato. This is a buy 3, get 2 free. So you're going to essentially get 2 of those handpieces free when you buy 3. But I took it a step further. I said, you know what? I'm going to throw in an LLR, which is our lube-free hygiene handpiece. It's a 2-piece E-type. Nose cone pops off. So if you're autoclaving the motors, do them all at once. If you're not, just pop off that nose cone and autoclave away. Plus, I'm going to throw in some of these CR Choice Profi angles. The next deal is similar. If you don't have a Cabo quick disconnect or an NSK and you just want the 4-hole, I did our Turbo Torque 1200, which again is our high-end 4-hole handpiece. Same principle. It's a little bit less expensive per unit, but you're still going to get a buy 3, get 2 free. In that case, you're saving $1,000. But then I'm adding a $400 hygiene handpiece free, and then I'm giving you some Profi angles free as well. So that's if you have the 4-hole system and you don't necessarily want the Cabo or the NSK quick disconnect, or if you're not equipped for that, frankly. I wanted to have a little bit of both for each type. Then moving on to our freestyle. So our freestyle is our new.
And people ask about this all the time, Sean. They always ask about it, and they're like, do we have a deal for this? But I was like, you know what? Why are you paying extra for this name brand when this is essentially the same type of handpiece at the fraction of the cost?
Well, you and I have
more than 50% off, right?
You and I have uncovered some of the secrets of handpiece private labels, but at the same time, you're right. A couple of other companies have a handpiece like ours. However, a couple things are different. One, price point is different. 2, we include 3 of the sheaths, which other companies charge $100 per sheath. So when you buy a cordless system, oftentimes you're only buying the actual handpiece itself and maybe the and the charging dock. They'll charge $499 for a foot pedal that I throw in free. They'll charge you $99 for a sheath. I give you 3 of them. So in every kit that you get the handpiece, the charging dock, the Bluetooth, the Bluetooth pedal, which is actually really acute. If you want to go slow, you go slow. If you want to go fast, you drop the hammer on the pedal, just like your pneumatics. Maybe not as acute, but very, very close. The Bluetooth technology is phenomenal in this unit. Plus, I'm going to give you free Profi angles because I have to try to stuff those down your throat. So that cordless handpiece is phenomenal. It's the value, it's $200 off here, plus you're getting $50 worth of free Profis. You can get second units a lot cheaper. So if you're buying one system and you say, I want to buy some additional ones, I'll drop the price dramatically on those second, third, fourth, and fifth units. We just came off of the Pedo show, and this thing absolutely erupted. I was unfortunately not able to attend, but at the same time, I saw the orders as they came in, and I was blown away at how many people were turned on by this. Now, it's easy when you're at a trade show because you can actually touch it and feel it. And it's also easy for me to say that it erupted, but everybody in Nifty should pretty much attest that I'm a straight shooter. And this thing is a great, really.
Sean, let's go ahead and address that because again, most people who are in this group, they've worked with you before. You've always, again, been very upfront. The great thing too, guys, is not so much when things go good, right? Like everyone, if things go good, it's easy for everyone to be happy, right? It's whenever there's an issue and how responsive people are. Well, Sean is always there. Sean's always taking care of things. Sean's making sure. But here's another thing too that Sean does too. And he doesn't even have to do this. He actually will sit down. Him and his team are awesome. They did it with my team. So this is from personal experience. We were like, hey, our handpiece, something's wrong with it. Could you clean it this certain way? Did you do this? Did you do that? And my team was like, what? Will that work? Yeah, just try it. And sure enough, it does. So a lot of times, whenever we feel like something's wrong, it's actually a little bit of user error on my part or my team's part. Like they're not lubing it. They're not doing it the right way. And again, that's what they do. That's like that extra step. Like do they have to get on the phone with people and troubleshoot things? No, but they do. And that's the reason why we always love coming back. So again, Sean, I just wanted give you a shout out right there because
I appreciate that. I think one of the things that we understand is that, everybody comes off of a handpiece that they love for 20 years. And when a new one comes into their plate, it may have some things that are a little bit different. But educating you on how to use it, which may be different than what you're accustomed to, is critical because for two reasons. One, I have to pay to have it shipped back to me, and I'm kind of cheap. But more importantly, and again, BS aside, more importantly, you can't afford to be without that handpiece for 2 or 3 days just to find out that there was something really simple that could be done. So it's worth our time to save you time to go that extra step. What's also interesting about this Nifty community that I really, really appreciate. And the reason why I put so much energy into it is because I'll give you an example. I was at a trade show, I think it was in Chicago, and Jay Glazer from Crazy Dental came by. And he looked at me and he said, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "Of course I do." And he goes, "Oh, you do?" And I said, "Yeah, you're Jay." I didn't know his last name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I said, "Jay from Crazy Dental." He goes, Yeah. I don't care that he's my competitor. He's got a whole line of products that, in some cases I have products like it. Now he and I talk all the time. We send little pleasantries in Facebook. We like each other's posts. I mean, for me, I was told this a long time ago. There is enough business. There's 130,000 dental offices in the United States, give or take. I may touch 20,000 of them. I may have 20,000 active customers. To me, that means there's 110,000 that are out there that I want to touch, obviously, but there's probably 50 to 60% of those that I will never touch. And if Crazy Dental has an opportunity to touch those people, or if a nifty doc who buys my prophy angles gets a better deal on a handpiece from Jay, God bless him. Power on. That's what it's all about. This isn't about greed. It isn't about total dental world domination. It's genuinely a community that Glenn put together that if you respect it and you appreciate it, I think there's plenty of room for all of us to enjoy it. Again, I have some different types of handpieces that they have. They do as well. And again, that was just kind of give a shout out, not so much to Crazy Dental, but just the community that I think you here, Glenn, with the vendors.
Awesome,
obviously the docs are all cool. They all communicate and stuff, but the vendors seem to get along as well.
I love it. That's what it's all about. No, I appreciate that. And, I kind of scrolled down here because, again, like we talked about all these great bulk deals. So there's a couple of questions here. So the first question that, Sean, you probably get all the time, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people watching right now. They're probably looking at these deals. These are sweet deals, right? And again, I just told you guys, there's like 21 pages of freaking deals here. Like, I'm not going to scroll through it all. Okay, guys, you're going to have to do it yourself. Nifty.medidenta.com. Okay. But inevitably, Sean, you're always going to have someone that says, "Sean, I want a special deal for myself."
Yeah.
Like, I don't see a deal that works for me. I want a special deal. Sean, what is your answer to those people who say, "I want my own package deal"? Like, I want some surgical hand pieces. Like, I want some prophy hand pieces. Like, I want this, I want that. What do you say to those folks who want to have a custom deal?
Well, I think they deserve to have a custom deal. And what you don't see on the face of this site, but you will see it when you click through. If you want to click on one, Glenn, just for grins, you could click on that. Let's do the number. This is a great. Go up to the middle of the page and look for the bulk deal number 5. So 1, 2, 3.
This guy, bulk deal 5. That would be this one here with the syringe.
Go ahead and click on that image. So this is going to open up to what the offer actually is, and it's basically for $1,000. Maybe you got to double click or something.
Hey, it might be my computer, so don't blame it on them, okay, guys? It might be me.
Well, anyway, that particular deal is interesting. You can see the images there. So you see a hygiene handpiece and you see air and water tips. What we do in our custom bulk deals, and you can do this online, or you can most certainly contact me. If you really want to get tricked out and custom, give me a holler. Hit me on Facebook, email Sean@Medidienta.com, or give me a call. Most of you have my number on speed dial, but that particular deal is interesting. So if you don't need 4 hygiene handpieces and you want to substitute a hygiene handpiece for a surgical or even a high speed, you can do so. So we also have bulk deals where these are really good for startup. We do a 10 handpiece bulk deal. It's that upper 4th one.
Oh, this is a good one here. Yeah, this is a good one.
What's the price on that? $2,000?
That's $2,000, but you get 10 freaking Profi handpieces.
But here's the thing: if you don't need 10 Profi handpieces and you need a surgical and you need a couple high speeds, what I can do is I can customize that. So instead of, let's just say you want 2 high speeds, a surgical, and the balance in Profi hygiene handpieces. So I give you 7 hygiene handpieces. I'll give you 1 surgical, and then I'll give you 2 high speeds, all within that 10 parameter. So we can customize. The point is, we can customize these deals. For me, even if my surgical costs $799, I'm still willing to do that for a couple reasons. One, you're buying a bulk deal. You're buying an investment. I'm setting you up potentially with something that's going to kickstart your practice. Yeah. Just like when you're in college, the handpiece that you learned how to use, or the Profi angles if you're in hygiene that you learned how to use, or the cutting burrs that you use in college, you tend to gravitate towards those. If you have any influence over the practice after you graduate, you tend to gravitate to what you know. If I'm starting you up, I'm willing to do those little corner cuts on my end because I'm planting a seed in your practice.
There you go.
I saved you thousands.
Hey, the man is transparent right there, guys. Like,
That's
seriously,
true.
He's transparent right there.
So those are the types of deals that you can do with us. So you don't see something that you like. We've put these together because they're kind of the general basis for what most people want on an ongoing basis. But that's by no means the end all. We can customize. Instead of Profis, I can give you burrs. Instead of a handpiece, I can give you nose cones. Instead of 2 handpieces, I can give you a handful of contra angles, push button or swing latch.
Sean, what if they're starting to do more surgery and they learned how to do how to take out wisdom teeth, and now they want more surgical handpiece? Could you do like a surgical package for them?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any of these deals, like I said, any of these deals where you see a free hygiene handpiece, I mean, let's face it, hygiene handpieces are the hottest commodity in bulk. That's what most offices need the most of. But that's, any of these handpieces we can swap out. So if you wanted to do 10 surgical handpieces, that'd be a pretty big operation. But if you wanted to do 10, I would do 10, and I would fall into that same category for you. No problem.
There might be some practices. There's actually a guy out in Utah that teaches people how to take out wisdom teeth that he definitely probably would need it for his own practice. Okay, there's another thing here I want to show you guys. And we're so wrapped up in the hygiene handpiece because I remember just to tell you guys a story. How I met Sean was like way back in the day. Like, I don't even want to tell you how long ago this was, but I was at the Profi Magic booth, and I was looking at those deals, and I thought, like, man, people use it Nifty. So I hunted Sean down somehow. I don't know how I found you, but I went through so many different people, and we started talking. And he was like, yeah, man, but I also have this other company that can help you guys out. So that's how that all started, because I have these handpieces in my practice. Okay, so let me go down here, and I want you guys to zero in. I'm telling you right now, if you look at this row, there's one thing that should be screaming at you right now. You're probably wondering, what is that high-tech thing? It's this genius. This advanced cordless endo motor right here, right, that you're looking at there. And I want to point this out because, guys, what Sean said earlier, for those who just jumped on, or maybe you guys came on, you weren't really paying attention, they have a huge endo line, right? With like some of like the top files and products and whatnot. So Sean, let's talk about this really quick, because again, we already talked about handpieces, regular restorative handpieces. We talked about Profi handpieces. We talked about Profi angles. But now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the endo line. Let's talk about this baby right here, which looks like it should be like $3,000, and it's like less than $1,000.
Yeah, we discounted pretty heavily on Nifty, but the Ace came about. So we acquired the Ultradent Genius file system. It was the only at the time rotary and reciprocating file system in the business. It came with a motor that was exceedingly expensive, but we had a bunch of them. We had 100 or so in the acquisition, so we used them, and we sold them off to all the Genius users. The interesting about that motor was it adapted, so it allowed you to go in reciprocation, where other motors don't. So, but day one, Dr. Ramos came in and said, I want a better motor. And we said, okay, well, your title is Director of Research and Development. So let's go ahead and do some research and development. So he spent an entire year and a half plus vetting, going back and forth, reprogramming, refacing this ACE cordless apex locator built-in endo motor system. So he says, this is perfect. It allows you to use all the Dentsply files. It's already preset. So if you want your presets, or if you use the auto presets, it's preset for essentially every popular file system on the market today. Edge Endo, as well as Dentsply. It has those programs built into it. There are videos showing you how to use this thing. It has the Apex locator built in, the clips. It is a cordless handpiece. It's got a micro head, so the size of the head is really small and really nice for when doing endo. It has some safety measures that other handpieces don't have. It has an auto reverse, which is normal. Some people, depending on the style and how advanced you are with using it, there are a lot of safety features built into this thing that are amazing. The price point is a fraction of others. I mean, I've seen other, I won't say their names, but other people have the Apex locator built in, and they're 3 times the cost, minimally. But the interesting thing about our endo, so we have this, we have our piezo, which is our Sonus, good for endo, GP, and deep scaling, gum issues, so on, perio, endo, and general. Tips to go with it for irrigation. We've got countless videos and training on this, but the coolest part about our endo division is Dr. Ramos is a PhD of endodontics. He is he's a professor, he's a teacher, he was, wet tooth for years and years and years. He's taught in Japan, he's taught in Brazil, he's taught in the US. He has been at the forefront of not only building these units from, basically, I wouldn't say necessarily from scratch, but base units and making them as good as they can be. But he has done all the training for all the docs. So when you buy an endo system from Medidenta, you're also getting free education. So you're going to have access to Dr. Carlos Ramos at any given time when you have a question about the unit, when you have a question about endo, when you have a question about a file system, and he's not a sales guy. So unlike me, he's not going to try to stuff our files down your throat. He is going to tell you, if you're using Wave 1, this is what you want to do. And with this unit, it's perfectly set for that. The endo motor is interesting too, because it's an open motor. So if you go into a preset and you say, you know what, this isn't exactly how I like to do it, you can adapt it. So you can play around with some of the presets. So it's a really, really adaptive, well-made, amazing cordless built-in Apex locator handpiece. And again, as Glenn said, we have it discounted deeply for you guys. I also have a deal that if you're into piezos, so if you're into a Sonus, I have a deal that we'll present in the notes via a link, a specific link. It basically, if you buy our piezo, our Sonus piezo, I will give you the ACE free.
Oh, wow.
You'll get the actual ACE cordless endo handpiece system free. So we'll have that listed later. So the Sonus is neat too. It comes with 20 tips. Again, general for cleaning, perio, as well as endo. And we've got some tricks up our sleeve that Carlos created for irrigation. He's actually doing a webinar on the 22nd of June, specifically on how to use our Sonus piezo technology, I should say, for doing irrigation in endo. But that is the support that you get.
You know what? Speaking of the endo courses and whatnot, I mean, there's actually another site here. We want to talk about that as well. It's the medidenta.com and /education. Yep. We'll put that in the comments section. But there's a lot of great free CE right here. A lot of them online. There is one that's live. Sean, talk about that. Again, you guys have this commitment towards, making sure there's really good CE so that these docs, not only they're getting great equipment, but they also know how to use it, right? Use it the right way. So talk about some of these, some great, Dr. Sean Whalen, Dr. Ramos, of course, he's been on multiple times and he's just amazing. He is like someone who actually uses all the endo equipment and makes sure that everything works fine.
His lab is lit up with all of our competitors' products. He has everything in his lab. He has microscopes. This guy has a playground like nobody else.
So talk about these courses.
Yeah, the EDU started back in December. So about a year ago, a couple of things have changed since COVID. And not to beat up COVID, but it is real and it's part of our lives. Some more intimate than others, but at the same time, buying patterns changed. Docs are still required, and hygienists are still required to get CE, but you can't go to a trade show. And so for 2 years, basically, let's just call it out. For basically 2 years, you had to find CE online, and it created a huge market of online CE, and company after company after company like us came up with this idea. Let's create a platform so we can draw more docs to our site and sell more product. That is the indirect point of all of this. But the benefit that you get out of this is in December, we were awarded the AGD PACE. So now, and we just reapplied for our second turn. I said, you know what? Our team said, well, we'll just have Carlos go on there and talk about our endo unit and our files and our this and our that. And I thought, that's fine. But that's not CE worthy, in my opinion. Let's not beat them up on a feature and benefit of a product that I sell. Let's present something that may be educational. And again, being honest, my thought was, if I could educate you, the doctors, and you, the hygienists, you may be like, he's not that bad. Oh, and while I'm here, let me check out some things and see if there's something I need. That is the honest answer as to why I'm doing this. However, what's interesting is now I'm totally into it. So that was the initial plan. So I said, you know what? I'm going to hire or bring on, actually, not even hire. I'm going to bring on the best of the best. So we had Carlos kicked it off. We had 180 people sign up or so, give or take. About half of those people actually showed up, and they earned one free CE credit. Then we brought on Dr. Miyazaki. Dr. Miyazaki did class 2 restorations. Again, he was selling products that I don't even carry. His products that he was featuring, I should say, are products that I don't even have. These are items that I'm thinking about carrying now, but I didn't have then. So then we brought on Dr. Fluky, and Dr. Fluky, again, talked about products that I don't even sell. I don't even have categorically what he was talking about. But guess what? Every time we've done this, more and more people have signed up. And within a day, they get an invite and a code, or they're asked to send us a code, rather. So the minute that they send us that code, they earn their 2 credits, guaranteed, locked and loaded. No tricks. I haven't even emailed any of the people that have signed up for these CE courses to date, which has been about 4 or 5 months. Any offers, any deals. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a community of awareness as to who Medidenta is. Again, it goes back to, if I have 20,000 customers and there's 130,000, I've got a lot of work to do to get the other 110,000 even know who I am. So that's my goal. That's why we do things like this. That's why we go above and beyond and try to do what we can. This is no different. So now I've got Dr. Ramos coming on June 22nd. You guys should sign up. Whether you use piezo for irrigation or not, you can learn about how to use piezo technology for final debridement, irrigation in endo. Maybe you'll learn a trick or two about how to do it, how not to do it. Maybe there's a way that you're doing it right now that you're not satisfied with, and you may learn a trick or two out of him. He's going to do a 2-hour. It's usually about an hour and a half with some Q&A. That's June 22nd. Again, registration is 1,000% free. You don't pay a penny. All we ask is that you show up and try to learn something. Yeah. The next one is going to be Dr. Sean Whalen. So Dr. Whalen said, hey, you know what? Pedo, he's an 800-pound gorilla, in my opinion, in pedo. But at the same time, he's like, what am I going to teach him? How to prophy? What am I going to, why don't we just do an open Q&A? So he's going to give you some tidbits on how he grew his practice, how he got to who he is, why people know who Dr. Sean Whalen is. He's going to give you a little bit of heads up on that. And then he's going to open it up to just dialogue. And it'll be an open forum Q&A. I don't have all the details. He's sparing some of that for the actual event. But that is going to be an event. If you're a pediatric dentist, if you're in pediatrics at all, at any level, that is one CE credit you're gonna love. Because he is I've talked to him, we've done Zooms, He's very energetic. He's got a lot of really good advice, and he's a very well established doc in the pedo world. Dr. Kaminer, enough said. The guy's been on the cover of magazines. He's, we're lucky enough to be friends with Dr. Kaminer. He's been in the Medidienta camp for his entire career, well before I came on board. He's going to come on and bless us with some good information on equipment that you should buy, that you should have, and that can help you kind of boost your practice and make more money. It's kind of like if you're doing things the old way, he's got a very progressive set of offices in New York City that are using some great technology, from laser technology to he's using our Sonus piezo for cleaning, for hygiene. He's using our endo systems for his endo. But again, his point is, if I can teach you the tricks that I've learned over the years on how to do things more efficiently, you can make more money. And that's kind of what the goal is, right? So these are just three. So we have June. I think we have, August and September.
Yeah.
We're taking July off, as everybody is going to try to do the same. After that, so after September, we have an event that's in person in Las Vegas. And this one's kind of interesting. So the Las Vegas Institute, for those of you that are familiar with it, enough said. For those of you who aren't, it is one of the two, in my opinion, premier training facilities in the country, if not in the world. LVI has been around for a long, long time. It's got a beautiful campus. We resurrected its endo training. So years ago, Medidenta used to sponsor and be a part of with a guy named Kit Weathers. And Kit Weathers used to do this magic show with endo, and I was lucky enough back then to be a part of Medidenta indirectly. So I got to meet Kit, I got to meet LVI, and I got to do some filming and video stuff there. Fast forward, Kit passed away. The program kind of went with him. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, actually maybe 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, before COVID, we reached out and we said, hey, we have this great doc, we have this great program, we have these great products, we want to resurrect the endo. And they did it with open arms. So we've already had a couple in the can, hugely successful shows, well entertained. Everybody had a great time. The reviews stand for themselves. You can go to lviglobal.com. You can look up the reviews on our endo courses. We've got another one coming up in September. You come to Vegas, you hang out for 3 or 4 days or 5 days or however long you like. You attend the course. You get to meet Carlos directly. You get to use hands-on our piezo. You get to use our endo unit. You get to use some files, a variety of different file systems that'll match whatever it is you're doing in your office. And you get a significant amount of credits. It's a 2-day course. Lecture the first day. Carlos has some antidotes and some things that make people crack up. And then the next day, hands-on. So you're learning with him walking around. They're very small groups. I think the maximum they'll put in that room for this particular unit is 20. And so you've got one of us will be there to help Carlos. He's the brains, but you'll have access to him to ask him questions, to go through these files. He's got these cool cutting blocks that you can do as simulated type things, the microscopes, all the fine-tuned stuff. And then you earn some credit and you get to hang out in Vegas. With that, if you sign up for that course, if this is in your wheelhouse and something that you genuinely want to do, remember 2020, March of 2020, when they told you can no longer do hygiene, and they said you can no longer, see your patients. You have to cancel all of your schedules. Yeah. Who was still making money during that time? It was endo. Any emergency type procedures, surgery, endo. If you have chops to do endo, if you're a GP or an endodontist and you want to learn some new techniques, you want to dust off that learning curve that you had years ago, you want to make yourself bulletproof in an environment that could potentially fall back into a weird, I'm not banking on it. Trust me, I hope we never see this stupid thing again. However, who knows? Why not armor yourself with something that can not only make you money, but can keep you alive during those times of tragedy?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Again, I digress. I'm not a.
And again, here's the thing: it's in Vegas, guys. In September, right? It's in Vegas, September. September normally is a little slower. Hopefully not too slow, but so again, it's in Vegas, guys. Definitely take a look at that.
Well, and so then Sean, you sign up as a Nifty. if you come to the event, a couple of things are going to happen for me. One, I'll probably entertain you in one way or another.
There you go.
We'll find some trouble or some just good old fun. We'll do something while you're here. You can come to our facility. You can tour our facility. You can see what we're all about in person. We have a 26,000 square foot building that's we have manufacturing there. We have our lab. We have sales, obviously sales and marketing and all the other stuff. We're doing video stuff. Our warehouse is robust. We have a lot of good things going on at our place. We'd love for you guys to visit anytime. Well, again, anytime anybody's in Vegas, hit me up. It's an easy way to come do a 5-minute tour. It's like a timeshare tour, because you can potentially maybe even talk to your accountant about why you went to Vegas. I don't know, but that is an option.
I love it. Hey, it's perfectly legal, guys. Come on.
No. You come out and we talk shop and we talk turkey. Whether I take you out to dinner or not, it's up to the judge. But the LVI course too. Also, if you do participate and you do come through the show, Medidienta is going to give you a $500 credit towards whatever you want to buy. It could be one bag of Profis for the next 10 months. It doesn't matter to me. But if you come and you sit through Carlos's thing, you go through that process. The other thing is, when you come, you're going to get significant discounts on anything that you need. So it's basically going to be not a garage sale, but you're basically going to have a layout of everything that we have. And because you're participating with us, you're supporting the LVI course. We're going to take really good care of you across the board.
So Sean, I'm going to spring before we jump off here. Yeah. Look, you and I over the years, we wheeled and dealed. I was always needling you for an extra deal. Well, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just, maybe, what if there's a doctor who's willing to spend X amount of money? I mean, could they possibly get your Raiders tickets for a game?
Well, you know what? Let me think on that one, because
just to let you know, we were talking about this. He's got season tickets at Raiders game and Raiders. It's pretty sweet seats. We've been talking about that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if someone bought enough, right? Or maybe let's do this. I think it would be pretty cool if Docs, if maybe we'll figure this out. I'll keep on bugging him about this, but maybe there's a raffle. Right? Because he's only got a couple of tickets. The guy doesn't have like a bunch of – there could be a raffle, right? Like if you buy a certain amount, there'll be a raffle for some Raiders ticket. And you know what? Hold on. The season starts in September, right?
Yeah.
It does. I mean, what are they – we'll have to check. But if they are playing that weekend, that would be kind of a cool thing. You're already in Vegas taking a course.
You can actually have the 2 tickets.
You can actually have the 2 tickets right there.
Anybody signs up for the course, they go into
a raffle, buy a certain amount of supplies, equipment, right? There's a raffle. You'll find out right then and there.
Let me noodle on that, but I'm
well, let's make sure they're actually playing a home game that weekend.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to look at the schedule. But what I found about Vegas is interesting. Medidenta moved out here in 2012. It was in New York for the other 70 years or so. People always come to Las Vegas. And so it's not like I'm in Toledo. No offense to Toledo. I love it out there. But we're in Las Vegas. So there's always a reason, especially if you get free tickets to a football game. I have to tell you, I went to a handful of games last year. Not only are the seats amazing, but the stadium is amazing. The Raiders, love or hate, doesn't matter. It's going to be a really, really good game. The team that they've assembled today and who they're going to be in pre and during the season, people are going to become Raider fans, whether they like them or not.
There you go. Sean, hey, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys, I'm going to put the links to all to the Nifty site with Medidenta, the education. Sean's going to put this other link for that super deal with the PA.
Yeah, if you're into the PA zone, you need a cordless endo handpiece. This deal is going to be sick.
That's a crazy deal. And then I'll keep bugging him. We'll figure it out. We'll create a raffle where you get take Sean's season tickets, okay, for a game. We'll get for
you know what? We could definitely do something. I'm open to that. I like that.
Awesome. Sean, thank you so much for jumping on, guys. I'll see y'all later.
Take care. Thank you.